What's up, YouTube? Bubbles and Ball Cards back with another video. Hope you're all having a wonderful Saturday. I'm down there in the little corner. Made the box real small because I typed out some information. That way, folks can read it along with me. So if you don't see me, I'm down in the little corner. I know if you're watching on like a phone or something like that, the picture's probably going to be small. But I just wanted to do a video. I don't know if anybody else has done this, and grading is always a great topic to discuss. Obviously, there's a ton of content always out there on grading and that sort of thing. It's something really that this channel has been founded on. My channel kind of became what it is because of the involvement, sending cards to SGC and everything. And then obviously, 2020 happened and gained a lot of popularity. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over grading options. Today is September 24th. I'm going to go over the grading options as of today, 9/24. I want to make it clear before I get into this. One reason I wrote it all out, that way people can see what is written in, in the slides that I'm going to be sharing. I'm doing this as a neutral stance, right? Yes, I grade with SGC. Yes, everybody looks at me as being, 100% biased to SGC or what have you, right? But I am actually trying to do this as a neutral party here and just share information about the options as of today. I don't know if anybody, there's so many channels out there. I don't know if anybody's already done this. So if you've seen this before, so be it. But I wanted to go ahead and kind of break the companies down. I also want to mention before I get into this, and before anybody starts typing and commenting, I did not include Tag. I did not include HGA, Arena Club, or any of the other companies. I know there's other companies out there. I did not include them because, for one, like a company like Tag, I don't know what their turnaround is right now. I don't know what their resale value is going to be. I don't know what the overall, sure, people could be accepted of the computer grading or what have you, but we don't know what the feeling is going to be like in a month from now, 2 months from now, a year from now. So I went with companies, the main four, and everybody right now would agree the main four being PSA, SGC, BGS, and CSG. So those are the ones I'm using in this example. So before you even type out your comment, why did you leave this company out? Why did you leave that one out? That is why. I can't, speak on resale values. Even HGA is not doing good enough volume to put enough examples on the market to compare them. So just wanted to clarify that. But anyway, let's get into it. So cheapest price. What I did here, this is self-submitting. No bulk submitter. You yourself wants to submit cards. What is my options? What are your options when you're exploring out there? You got some cards you want to get graded. This is kind of like, this can go for both people new or people that are just looking at what their options are. So if you are out there, you don't want to use a bulk submitter, how do you do it? Well, CSG's lowest price that you can get right now is $15. Now, I did put in there can be cheaper depending on membership, and I'll go over that in a minute. But their lowest, tier is $15. Now, there is a lot of a la carte things that you have to pay attention to when you're submitting with them. So that price is, subject to change based on what you're submitting. If you do an autograph card, it's going to cost you a little bit more for the auto grade. If you do a thicker card, they charge you a little bit more for the thicker slab. So keep that in mind, but the base option, cheapest price, $15. PSA is $22, BGS is $25, and SGC's lowest level is $30. So that's your pricing right now. CSG is the cheapest, SGC is the most expensive. All right, membership requirements. CSG, yes, you do need a membership to direct submit to CSG. Membership prices range from $25 to $299. There's different levels there. I think they have a free one if you want to check out like pop reports and that sort of thing that you can sign into the site and check all that information. But as far as submitting, the cheapest one is $25. Then there's another tier. I think it's like $199 or something like that. And then there's a $299 tier. Some of the tiers do come with grading vouchers. And then the max tier does come with like a percentage off on the grading services. So that's why I said that $15 can actually be a little bit lower because of that discount, that percentage off. So just something to keep in mind, but you do need a membership to submit. PSA, you also need a membership to submit. Their membership cost is $99, and these are yearly prices, so keep that in mind as well. BGS, there's no membership, and SGC, there's no membership required to submit cards. All right, next thing, max declared value, and that's on this level here. So if you submitted a card at $15 to CSG, your max declared value would be $250. PSA, the max declared is $199. BGS, I did not see anything. If I am wrong on this, I apologize, but I did not see anything about a max declared value. And then SGC, they do not have a max declared value for anything 2000 to current. It's subject to, change on the vintage side, kind of depending on what you're sending, the value of it, that sort of thing. But 2000 to current, there is no max declared value. I want to mention that because on the website, it's not been updated, but Peter has publicly made the statement on that. So keep that in mind, because this is all you like submitting cards on your own, not through a bulk submitter or anything like that can share that information with you. This is you. And if you go to SGC's website, it is not currently updated to actual the declared values and all that stuff. The other thing is the minimum amount to send. So CSG, it takes 25 cards. They can be any years or sports. What I mean by that is they can be mixed. You can have modern, ultra-modern, vintage, baseball, basketball, football, what have you. You cannot mix your Pokemon cards and that sort of thing. Those have to be with CGC. Your Star Wars cards, all that stuff. So this is strictly for sports for them, and only cards and items they grade. But you can have different years and all that. PSA, it's 25 cards, but it has to be 25 cards from 1996 to the present, or 1995 and later. So theirs is kind of age based. You would, let's say you had 20 cards from 96 and 5 cards from 1989. You couldn't send those as your 25. It has to be 25 from 96 to current, or 25, 95 and later. So keep that in mind when doing PSA. BGS, there's no minimum amount to send in. You can send 1 card. SGC, same thing. You can send 1 card. All right, let's get over here. Turnaround times. These are the CSG, PSA, BGS is the stated turnaround times on the website. That is all subject to change. You could send a CSG and maybe you get it back in 10 days. I don't know. I'm going by what is stated here. CSG states 20 business days. PSA states an estimated 120 business days. BGS is 30 to 60 business days. And SGC is currently, now this is the only one I didn't go by the website because I knew that wouldn't be the case. SGC is 3 to 5 business days. The website hasn't been updated to reflect the new stated time. So I want to, keep that in mind, make sure people understand that. This one, the website is going to say differently, but it is 3 to 5 business days. All right, resale value. This is all subjective, kind of based on the card. And, people might say, well, why do you have them labeled that way? Well, obviously PSA, most things are going to to be higher resale value on a PSA slab, a PSA 10, most things, right? SGC, BGS, I would argue that they're kind of a 2A, 2B. It almost depends on the day of the week, what the card is. You might see one sell for more here, one sell for more there. They're kind of neck and neck, so that's why I label them 2A, 2B. Because the pricing can, it can be, pretty close at times. You might see, again, one outsell the other at specific times or days of the week. And then I put CSG as 4 simply because they're creeping up a little bit, but I don't feel that they have the resale consistently as SGC or BGS. They're not close to PSA. So I just went ahead and put them at 4. If somebody comments, but did you see so-and-so card outsold both CS or SGC and BGS? Again, you might see outliers that happens, but consistent basis is what's more important on an overall scale. Which one of these is going to sell for more? Obviously, that's PSA. I put SGC, BGS as a 2A, 2B, and then just toss CSG in there as the 4th place because you're going to see them sell for less more often than you are going to see them sell for more. So, all right. Next up is pros and cons. This is my opinions based off of what we just went over, and just, my thoughts specifically. CSG pros, they have a very nice slab and they have the cheapest price. You cannot even deny that. A nice slab, and obviously numbers don't lie, they have the cheapest price. The cons would be the resale value, the membership fee, the minimum amount to get the best price, and then the declared value constraints. Now, the reason I say the minimum amount, some people may not, have the money to pay $15 a card for 25 cards. It's nice if you can, if you just want to send 10 cards at a time. We have folks like, Aaron from Canada, he sends 4 cards when he can. He used to send them every month. He took a break. He sent 4 cards this time. That fits his budget. He knows how much it is to ship to and from. He knows how much it costs him to get them graded. So, if he wanted to use CSG, he would have to do 25 cards, and that just throws everything in a different area. And some people may just not want to spend that much each time. So the minimum amount thing, I put that as a con. PSA Pros, popularity, resale value, and they're the second cheapest. They're doing way more cards than the other companies, so we cannot even deny the popularity. Obviously, I mentioned the resale value, and at $22 for the bulk service, they are the second cheapest option currently. PSA cons, the turnaround time, I put this as unknown. Now, as you noticed, I marked it as 120 days. That's what's on their website. We've heard this rodeo before. We've, played the game before. Do they keep their butts in gear? And does that 120 really end up being, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Do they keep churning stuff out now that they don't have a monster looking over their shoulder with that backlog? They have the second facility rolling. Does that 120 days look a lot better than it used to be? Before, we would look at 120 days and know, that wasn't going to happen. It was going to take longer. Does it get back to that where that 120 is just there as a cute number and it's really 360 days? That's to be determined, so I'm putting it as a con. The turnaround time is unknown. Also, the membership fee, a lot of people don't like the memberships or the membership fee. The minimum amount to get the best price, again, you have to send 25 in, so some people may not have enough to send, 25 cards at $22 a card. And then they have the lowest declared value at only $199. Now, I'm going to get into something on that in a second, but the declared value thing, it does kind of suck. So, all right, BGS Pros, I put it as name recognition, Beckett. Everybody recognizes Beckett. It's an iconic name in the hobby. They don't have any minimum to send, and they don't have a declared value. Cons, I'm going to say arguably they've lost momentum over the past couple years. They weren't very transparent about what was going on. People were getting fed up with waiting, didn't know, weren't getting updates of what plans they were making. Were they even grading cards? Like, you didn't hear hardly anything about them. So I would argue that they've lost momentum the past couple years. They had the fake slabs on the market that kind of hurt their reputation a bit. People got a little leery, worrying about buying a Beckett slab. And then again, just like with PSA, and even more so with BGS, the questions on the turnaround time. Do they have everything in line? Are they going to pump cards out? Is that turnaround time that's advertised, is it going to be longer or is it going to be shorter? So we still have questions on that. SGC Pros, no minimum to send, fast, lightning fast turnaround, no declared value from 2000 to the present, and they've gained a lot of momentum, the past couple years. So I would say all of those are pros and definitely in their corner. The cons for SGC, they're the most expensive. At $30, they are the most expensive option on this. By $5, $8 if you're going the PSA, and double the price of a CSG. Now again, you got to play little factors in there because of the declared value and that sort of thing. But they're the most expensive. There's mixed reviews. Some people don't like the slab or the label. It's fair, it's not for everybody. So mixed reviews on their slab and label. And people, this is just something personally. People have been waiting for a price decrease. I get comments on videos. I get messages in my, private messages. Have you heard anything about a price decrease? I get text messages. Have you heard anything about a price decrease? I tell you, they have supporters. They have a lot of supporters. But I also know that there's people that have been holding cards back, wondering if they're going to decrease the price. I'll tell you this, today is September 24th. I was expecting a price change before the National. I'm to the point now, I don't know if it's coming. I think, looking back, I think it was around May of 2021, if I remember correctly. I have a video of it. It's been about a year and a half almost, that I would say. It's been well over a year, I know, since they made a price adjustment. That's a long time. So there's people been waiting, but I almost feel like I tell people right now, I haven't heard anything. I don't know. I thought there was going to be something happening. I felt like the whole market was going to change. I thought PSA was going to be lower than $22. I think they kind of slid in under SGC's bulk and parked themselves right there and said, okay, your turn, you do the move. So I think they're all kind of playing in this, using each other to keep their prices where they are and saying, hey, pick your poison, right? So people have been waiting. I'm going to tell you again, for anybody that knows me, I don't know of any price decrease. But people have been waiting, so that is a con, because I do feel people are hesitant to send everything they want to. All right, final thoughts here. CSG is a great option for a nice slab at a cheap price on lower valued stuff if you can afford to send in 25 plus cards at a time. Now this is you doing it your way. If there's a bulk submitter option out there, then obviously you could send less cards. You wouldn't need to do 25 at a time, and that could save you some money, on each order. You wouldn't need the membership, that sort of thing. So there's other alternatives to it. But I think they're a great option. They have a nice slab, cheap price on your lower valued stuff, $250 max declared value. So I think that's an option. PSA, the choice of most people, especially those looking to maximize resale value. It's no question, right? They do more cards than any of the other companies combined by a large margin. This will likely continue that trend, being the second cheapest option on the board right now. The low declared value does hinder things. That $299 or $199 declared value, and then you pay in $22 for the grading fee. That does hinder things. However, if you send cards up to $500 and you do get upcharged, the thing is, it's only $8 more, right? You're only then at $30. So when you're looking at that, I've heard people say, well, you could test the waters a little bit and throw like a $300 card in there or something like that, and it might slip through. The beautiful thing is, if it doesn't and it does get upcharged, it's only $8 more for that card. Beckett, most people, and this is my feeling and just the vibe I get with Beckett, most people use them that have supported them for years. Like, they have loyalists, just like all the other companies. There's people that have been loyal to them. There's people that have supported them for years, or there's people that do enjoy the way their auto grades are. Something I do here with SGC is the auto grade on the left of the card grade. It confuses people because everybody's always been used to it on the right, on the Beckett slab. So there are people that enjoy the Beckett auto grades and that sort of stuff. In here, I do also mention more people also likely pay more than the $25. They go ahead and pay for the subgrades and everything. But they need to start gaining back their momentum, though, as a lot of people did lose interest in them. SGC. So here's something that I've been thinking about with the turnaround time, and this is something that before the boom happened that people kind of used as a little option in their back pocket, right? Especially on new releases. I feel like SGC's kind of taken the place what BGS used to be for new product flipping. And what I mean by that is they're a faster option, although they're higher, highest cost, to get a raw card graded in a slab, and then, instead of pulling a card out of a pack, throwing it on eBay, you can send it down there, a few days you have it back, it's in a slab. If you get the 10, you don't increase the value over the raw, right? So I feel like that's kind of the niche right now for, especially with the ultra modern. I think that's kind of like what a lot of people may be looking at them to use them for, in a sense. You just got to be careful. And when I say be careful, look at the risks involved, because a lot of times if you don't get that 10 and you get the 9, I remember my first order, many of the cards I sent in, they were $10 to $15 raw cards, right? But the grading was $8 a card. So even at $15, my raw card value was nearly 2x what the grading fee cost. To do that today at $30, you would have to have a $60 raw card to be at 2x your grading fee. And the reason that's important is most times, in most cases, if you send in a raw card and you get a 9, you can still get the raw price or maybe a little bit more. If that happened, and SGC obviously has the 9.5 there, which gives you a little bit more bump over the 9 or over the raw value, so it's a safety net there. But if you're sending in a $15 or $20 card and the 9 value is only $15 or $20, well, if you get a 9.5, you might get a little bit of a bump, but you're playing, you're gambling there with, does the grading fees and your shipping and all of that cancel all of that out? Because then you're going to be lucky to be breaking even without, getting the 10. If you get the 10, then, you likely can make a little bit of profit on it. So it's just that $30 level, it washes out a lot of cards that I feel a large majority of the hobby is into. I know people say base rookies are dead and this and that and the other, but I talked about in recent videos how I used to do young guns, and if they were $10, $15, $20 raw young guns, I would send them in to be graded. I felt like they were worth it at that point. I couldn't do that today. like at 30 bucks a card, I wouldn't be able to take that jump because, you know, I'm taking a card that's $20 raw, putting another $30 into it. You know, let's say I went on eBay and bought the card and I paid 20 for it, and then I spent 30 to get it graded. I'm now $50 into that card, and if I wanted to sell it, it has to be at least worth $50. And if I get a 9 or a 9.5, there's a very high chance that it's not going to be $50. And then you have to take out the eBay fees, again, the shipping, all that stuff, and your margins are quickly dwindling, right? So just be very careful on this. You know, it eliminates a lot of what used to be able to be done. There's still cards that do make sense, but it dwindles that supply a little bit. And that's why I kind of, you know, I've said I wish SGC would change their price. I love them as a company. I love every single one of them that I talk to or deal with down there. I you know, I like the slabs. I love the service. They're great people, you know, for this hobby. I do wish there was a cheaper option though, because it would open up more. It would open up more options to send cards to them. You know, I think a larger majority of the people that are in the hobby are playing in that lower level, you know, $15, $20 raw cards, $30, $40 raw cards, than they're playing in the $150, $200, $300 raw cards. So just kind of something I see and think about. But yeah, be careful. You know, you gotta evaluate your options. But it is a play. You know, you pull a nice card, you send it in, you get a good grade on it, you're gonna bump your value a little bit. So, but anyway, all companies have a place in the market now. I do feel like there still needs to be some adjustments made for the long term though, as card prices have fallen. Just what I was discussing. Wax has risen, and grading hasn't really adjusted back to pre-pandemic pricing. Pick the company that fits what your plans are best and who you enjoy most. So again, you know, I just wanted to get on, kind of show all of the options where everybody's at currently today. Share some thoughts on it. Be realistic about it. You know, I think any of these companies, you know, find your place, find what you enjoy. Obviously, some of the pricing varies. If you want to grade with SGC, we do offer grading service at $23 a card. We post up, we have a website, we post on Facebook, and try to keep everybody informed on Instagram of when our next submissions are going to be. The next due date is September 29th. I do all cards previewed as well as revealed. We sleeve every slab and perfect fit sleeves, and also overnight ship to and from SGC, so your service is lightning quick. I know there's people out there that advertise how, you know, that they can get stuff back faster than anybody, but I may not be walking the cards in to drop them off, but I can assure you the man wearing a brown suit, you always say, what can Brown do for you? Well, he does a damn good job getting those cards down there quickly. And so even though I'm not hand delivering them, we make sure your cards are there and back to us in the quickest way possible. So that's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Comment below. Tell me your thoughts. And as always, guys, stay safe, stay healthy. And until the next video, I'm out.